Jim Ozarski.
Sorry about that. Figure out the mute button eventually. To play full 12 minutes first quarter, clearly you kind of had it going both with the assists and your shot. What I don't know. What did you see there go in that opening quarter for yourself?
Just got into a groove, really. Had an assignment tonight. I had Kawhi and really tried to do my best to be as connected with him the whole game. But, I didn't really want him to start off. Seeing the basket go in easily and really just try to be aggressive defensively and then offensively do the same thing, especially when with Giannis and Chris out. I'm really just trying to get everybody involved and try to attack the basket.
Does it feel at this point that I don't know if this is how to phrase this the right way, but it looked like you were kind of getting into your groove with the team before you were in the protocol. And obviously you're working your way back after it. Are you to that point? Like, do you feel like you're in the throes of the season at this point? Is that fair to say? Or are you still kind of working through some?
I think I'm still working. I feel like those two Cleveland games were like, they felt really like they just distinct in my mind. They felt really good. And the lineups we had, I felt like we were all clicking, not even just myself. And then me kind of doing COVID protocol threw a wrench in it. But again, I feel like this is kind of that point, especially on this road trip, to try to get back to that consistency. Just being consistent throughout games, not even for myself, but if it's our lineups and who we're playing with and down the stretch things that we go to or kind of go-tos, I feel like this is going to be a good test of that.
Eric Name.
What did you see on the defensive glass tonight? You guys have been so good at that all year long, and tonight you guys gave up a bunch of offensive rebounds.
I was terrible, personally. I definitely got to do better. I think Kawhi got some big ones, especially toward the end, where you get rebounds like that. It's just a momentum shift. You guarding for 23 minutes or 23 seconds on the shot clock, and they get extra shots. It's definitely deflating. So as a team and me personally, I definitely have to do better.
And then with Kawhi, I mean, he gets 23 points. I think it was on 21 shots tonight, which I would assume you'd probably feel pretty okay with. Just what do you think of the job you did on Kawhi?
I got to go back and look. There's sometimes where I felt like he was too comfortable. There's sometimes where I felt like great team defense, and we had him up in the air and he had to make some passes out. Bad play down the stretch where I went for the steal and they called the foul. Again, I didn't know he took 21 shots, so I'm gonna have to go back and look at that.
Zora Stevenson.
Jrue, for the defense as a whole, previously Coach and Chris just felt like you guys weren't good on the defensive end, but I'm interested to know what you think. Do you think the Clippers were just knocking down contested shots? Was there a balance? What did you see just team defense as a whole?
I mean, they were knocking down shots, but I think we kind of helped them with that where, again, offensive rebounds and those kick out threes, those are wide open threes. We love that. That's why we go. That's why we crush offensive boards. And then I just think too many guys got into the paint tonight. And when you get into the paint and break down somebody's defense, a lot of options happen. A lot of options occur. So maybe a little bit of one-on-one defense we got to be a little better at, as well as team defense, so that guys don't get into the paint. But I think most of all it was rebounding and how deflating that is to a team.
When you were asked about rebounding, you were like, yeah, that was me. I could have been better. And I've noticed just this season, you hold yourself accountable and you're not afraid to say, hey, like that was me. I need to be better. Is that a skill that you've always had? Is that something you developed as a pro? Where does that comfortability with just saying, hey, I need to be better come from?
I think a little bit of growing up, just growing up and learning. For me first, you just kind of have to look in the mirror. See what you could have done to help the team. And usually like when you place blame on somebody first, for one, if you're having a conversation, that doesn't really go over well. But especially like I'm getting deep now, right? Like in relationships, like you have to look at yourself first. So it's the same thing on the court. You have to look at yourself, see what you did, and just kind of take accountability. I think from there, other people can do the same. I feel like it's that kind of trickles down that way. So yeah, really just taking accountability for yourself, and then kind of going from there.
Thanks.
Kane Pittman.
Hey, Jrue, you mentioned consistency a couple of times so far in this call. And I'm just wondering whether this season and the way the playoffs are really going to come up quickly. I think there's 25 games or so left. As you guys have tried to figure this out, you've had interruptions, certainly you personally. Is there a point where you guys get together, or there is a rising sense of urgency to like, okay, now the run really begins towards the postseason here? Does that come into calculations?
Yeah. Honestly, I think it kind of starts now, especially being on this road trip. This road trip is a tough one, and I feel like it's a way that we can get into a group and really see what we're made of. We got the Lakers, we got Portland, we got Dallas, we got Sacramento. We got a lot of teams with a lot of good players, and we're on the road. We're at their place. So I think for us to be a good team, we are going to have to be able to win games on the road in crazy situations in weird circumstances. So again, I'm excited about it. This is what we play for.
All right, thanks, Jrue.
All right.